crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. Back in the office, back connected to the internet. Amy's like, can't you handle 2 days without the internet? No. Isn't that sad? It's a sad, there's some, what was that? I forgot the name of it. One of those cartoons, kind of the racy cartoons where they don't have internet. He spends like days looking for the internet. That's what I felt like for the last couple of days. But happy Valentine's Day to us and to you. We did our Valentine's Day away from human beings. It was awesome. It was on the water in Northern California, Bodega Bay, oysters. When I first had oysters, I was like, no way. But then you grow to love them. Speaking of that, as many of you know, I moved to up north out of the city of Oakland. Still in Northern California. I know. California is not the place to be, except I have friends and family here. It is probably the most beautiful state of all, and we're going to get rid of the criminals that run it. Today, February 16th, means no more masks in California. Amazing. And Amy was telling me, hey, it'll be interesting to go into town, because there's a lot of lefties around, see how many people are still have mask requirements to go into a store. Hey, this is America. You can not allow people in your store if you want. Don't expect me to go in and buy anything. If you're going to try to say, well, we still need masks because I'm scared of my own shadow. But it's a great day. At least they can't pull the old, it's the government. And every place I go into, if they have masks, I'm not going to wear one, obviously, but I will give them shit and say, hey, I got a YouTube channel with, what are we at, almost 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to tell them all that your company, your business, has decided to not let people inside without masks, even though there's no mask mandate left. That's what I'm going to do. Again, it's a free country. Do what you want, right? But I did want to point out, the only thing I miss about Oakland, I don't miss much of anything about Oakland. Some of my friends are there, but they come up to visit me. I miss this one restaurant, Pukio, on College Avenue, and I was surprised and excited that yesterday I opened the paper, the San Francisco Chronicle, and there was an article, and it said, this electrifying Peruvian restaurant might be the most underrated spot in Oakland's Rock Ridge. It's not might be. It is the most underrated spot in all of California. You will have the best Peruvian ceviche you have ever had. And just go to the guy behind the counter who's doing all the cooking. His name's Carlos. Say, Bix said you have the best Peruvian restaurant in the world. And he'll treat you very well. Carlos is a very good friend of ours. And his restaurant is beyond belief. And I miss it so much. So every time we go back to Oakland, we're going in to Pukio on College Avenue. But a great write-up on what it is and what Peruvian food is. A lot of people don't know how amazing Peruvian ceviches are. It's not like Mexican ceviche. I got nothing wrong with Mexican ceviche, but it is a different class of food for a well-done Peruvian ceviche. Anyway, and all the other stuff is great too. Lomo saltado. You kidding me? All right, let's talk about Cliff High's. Now is his time. Tomorrow, the next day are all really important dates for Cliff High. He has a lot of... Oh, wait, look, buddy, just come to say hi. Hello, buddy. Say hi to the people in the world. Look, what's that? This is our dog, buddy. Hi, buddy. Good. All right. So he's a border dog. I love saying that because a border dog in California is one of those hot dogs you get after a soccer game that's wrapped in bacon. If you guys have ever been to a soccer game, it's got onions and peppers. We call them border dogs. Buddy's a border dog as well. Because Paige went down to Mexico and brought back a dog. Don't ask me. But Amy and I had been looking for a dog, and he is just wonderful. He is wonderful. And so that's Buddy. He's our buddy. All right, back to Cliff High. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I need more coffee. I'm excited to have the internet again. That's all it is. All right. Cliff High says this is the time. expect chaos. This is why we have to have our assets in our own possession. We know what's going on in Canada. They've starting to confiscate money out of banks. Bankers are going to hate the government for that. Hate it. Why? Because what does that do? That tells people, go into your bank and get your money out of the bank. Get everything you have out of the bank. You're making no interest on it. All you're doing is you're giving them the ability to confiscate your money. Get your money in your own possession. In your own possession. I tend to like holding silver instead of fiat money, or cryptos instead of fiat money in my own possession. Because this is the kind of thing that what's going on in Canada right now. They are taking money from truckers. They are cutting off truckers from there's a symbiotic relationship between government and the banks about controlling our lives. The government thinks they can pass a law that cuts you off from the banking system. And the banks say, yeah, we'll do that for you if you do this stuff for us. You let us continue to rape and pillage your citizens and we'll let you cut them off as need be. This is a little different. Canada is breaking out in freedom. Jean-Claude, keep it up, my friend. You're doing a great job. Freedom is an interesting word. The Freedom Road Trip starts in a couple weeks, so get ready for that. But freedom is an interesting word in that Canada is now trying to turn that into a terrorist type of world. It's kind of like nationalism. When Trump was in power here, was the president, nationalism became a bad word to the left and the media. It's insane. Now they're trying to call freedom a bad word in Canada. This is when you're winning. Keep it up. If you're in Canada and you have any kind of money in the bank or any country, get it out. This is the end game for unbacked fiat money and our criminal government controllers. This is the end game. This is what they always planned. Ultimately, there will be the mother of all crashes. Everything will be wiped out. And then we, the people, get to decide what to do going forward. Nobody trusts government anymore. There will be no deciders in banks saying, oh, Klaus Schwab knows what to do. No, it's over for them. Their days are done. Every country will go back to nationalism and freedom. In the USA, we're already making these silver and gold American eagles with a little notch at the bottom so they can be identified as who owns what part of it. Because you can put it on a blockchain, and you can put it on the Theta blockchain if you want it, but it'll probably go on the Bitcoin blockchain. And you put little tiny kind of like Morse code on the bottom in that little notch, and that'll signify it's yours. And then it can be held by a government bank because all the other criminal banks will be gone. Say at the U.S. Post Office will be our next banking system, I think. But that money can be allocated. That money, the money of the United States, the U.S. dollar is not a Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve note is an IOU. Silver and gold coins minted by the U.S. Mint are going to be the future of money. We have so much gold, it is leaking out of every orifice in the United States of America. Everybody who says they know how much gold there is in the world is lying, including me. I don't know how much there is in the world. I just know there's 10, 20 times what they tell you there is. Nobody knows the exact amount. And that's the problem, truthfully, with gold and silver. If you don't know how much there is, how do you value it in terms of goods and services? It's difficult. I heard the USGS went around, Cliff was telling me this not too long ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and did a survey of all the gold and silver and all the natural resources in the ground. So they'd have a good idea of how much of it there was. And I heard a whole bunch of other countries were doing the same thing because we are leaving this old fiat monetary system. Everybody knows it. Why do you think the Fed's printing massive amounts of money and not telling you any of it? Any of it. Do you know the banks were bailed out again in 2019? I hear the numbers now, well over 30 trillion was given to them and nobody knew about it. And like I said, I've been saying forever, what did Ruta write in the sand in the 1960s in the comic book? On the Road to the Golden Age. It's an economic formula written in the 60s. It didn't win a Nobel Prize, but the guy who made up the formula was on the board for deciding Nobel Prizes. That's how big it was. But the ultimate conclusion was if you want to go back to a gold standard, what do? You print as much fiat as possible. And as a matter of fact, the conclusion was print it to infinity. And they are printing infinity money behind the scenes. Catherine Austin Fitts is coming close, but not even close. I think their latest count was like $110 trillion has been created that nobody knows about. It's infinity. They've hit infinity. This is the collapse of everything. Now China knows. They're creating, have you seen all the ghost cities built in China? Huge, massive cities, apartment buildings, everything. Able to hold millions of people in a beautiful city with nobody in it. It's all preparing for the end game. Use this fiat money to build roads and bridges and houses and build your military. And then when everything crashes, when the United States of America has a regulator do one thing, which is uphold the law, poof, it's all over. You put your arms around your borders and say, okay, we're going to take care of every country will take care of themselves. There's no need for war. Just take care of yourself. And you, the citizen of that country, should be the ones deciding on what your next currency will be, not Klaus Schwab out of the EU, not the Queen of England, not Joe Biden, not anybody in any banking system will be trusted. As a matter of fact, they'll be lucky to get out of this alive, if you ask me. So that narrative, their narrative, is breaking down. The Durham probe. Media suddenly develops laryngitis after years of pushing Trump-Russia collusion. Can you imagine how much Trump could have done had the media and the left supported their president and not make up these crazy lies? I mean, the vast majority of Trump's presidency was battling these idiotic liberal lies about Russia. And it was actually Hillary Clinton that paid to do it. Now, will she go to jail? She better go to jail. I think she's already gone from this planet, truthfully. I've seen pictures of her from 10 years ago that looks like she's about dead. And now all of a sudden they prop out these pseudo Clinton-esque things that are like 30 years younger. Everything's a lie now. That's what you got to get around. Your mind is everything is a lie. No, I don't think Joe and the current administration is actually in the correct position to do their job. Vice President Harris has never been in her office. Never. It's been being remodeled for the last year and a half. It's insane, I know. But that's the power of the media. And look at all the media people going away. Zucker gone. Amazing. Anderson Cooper gone. Woohoo. Rachel Madcow gone. All the mass media who were saying Russia, all of a sudden they're gone. They're taking hiatuses. Anderson Cooper's just weird. We have another son with not even his boyfriend, his ex-partner. Who knows what's going on there? That family is just, you do the research on that family and you're going down a real slippery path. The Anderson Cooper family. The Vanderbilts. Oh, it's bad. Anyway, let's take a looky at silver. Today is an interesting day. It is, in the next couple hours will be what's it called? It's a full moon, but it's called, the February moon's called the, come on, Bix, you know this. It's called the snow moon. It is a snow moon tonight, which is really good for silver. Keep that in mind, really good for silver. And I was going to say something about silver this morning, and it was getting slammed down, and all of a sudden, bang, you got this little jump up. And I was like, oh. But that the peak of the full moon is at, I think it's 11:58 East Coast time. So like in an hour, in about an hour from right now, from when I'm doing this video. Let's see if we get a little bit of a bump on silver because of the snow moon. Here's what we're really looking at. It's the moving averages. If the bad guys, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Virtu Financial is the computer rigging entity of all these bad guys. If they can slam it below the 50 and 100 day, there's not much juice left in doing that. They're not going to get much from it. The Raptors, as Ted Butler calls them, will be soaking up way too much physical on the comics. But what they need to defend against is this line, which is the 200-day moving average. Right now, it keeps coming down because over time, if you keep the price low, it's going to come down. It's $24.29. If it breaks through at that, we could see the run up to $30. That's when Rustin Benham, the U.S. government, the English government, the Canadian government, every government around the world, even the Mexican government wants to slam prices down. Mexico, the largest producer of silver, wants to destroy its industry and its people. Talk about a call for revolution. Why do you think when Trump went down to Mexico when he first got elected president, and he was saying, "Oh, Mexico's going to build the wall and they're going to pay for it"? He was absolutely right. And when he went down to talk to the president of Mexico, that was absolutely the plan. Why? It wasn't to keep Mexicans out of the United States. It was to keep United States citizens out of Mexico, because that's where all the wealth will be. Although opening up America to the gold, massive gold areas in California, 41% of California's land is owned by the federal government. Why? Because there's massive amounts of gold in Southern California. You're just not allowed to get it. Chocolate Mountain, look it up. All right, so this is where we are. If you're a silver holder, God bless you. If you don't have any physical silver in your own possession right now, I can't tell you how many more minutes you have left. This is the end game. Yes, they can set the price to minus $40 in silver. It's a click of a mouse. This is a fake market. The COMEX is fake numbers. They set the price of oil to negative $40. It's all fake. Everything is fake. So will they do it? I don't know. They can also click a mouse and put the price to $1 million an ounce. If the good guys are in charge, that's what I would do, and take out these criminal banksters and the criminal government lackeys. So we'll see. It's really exciting time. But truth and honesty need to come through, and that would mean the end of all markets as we know them, all exchanges. And then we'll have to start something new, probably something based on the blockchain. I think that's why they've frozen Reggie Middleton's Veritasium tokens. 98 million of the 100 million tokens have been frozen. Why? Because he had an amazing idea, peer-to-peer transactions without JP Morgan in the middle, without Fidelity in the middle. You're dealing with a situation where we can have truth and honesty in markets, and everything's on blockchain, so you can see everything. You could see how many massive trades Bank of America or JP Morgan was putting on the COMEX. You could see it, who's doing it. I had a list of 19 things that if the CFTC wanted a true fair market value of any commodity, they could change about what was going on. And one of the things was open and honest transactions, meaning that if you see a slam in silver, you know who did it. JP Morgan throws 1 billion ounces of silver, of electronic silver at the market. You would be able to see that. Who did it? And then you could question the regulator. Why was this allowed? That's a great question for the OCC, the Office of Comptroller of Currencies, right now. Why was Bank of America allowed to put $18 billion short position in derivatives, basically leases from JP Morgan, onto their books? Why was it allowed? When, hell, that's 800 million ounces, almost how much is mined in the whole world, every single country. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people affected by the price of silver in the mining companies, not just investors, even as the manufacturers. Yes, they don't want high prices of silver, but silver is a tiny part of most industries' input, but it is probably the most important part. Definitely in electronics and solar panels and flat screen TVs. You don't think of so what, Bix? There's only an ounce of silver in a flat screen TV. Yeah, but if silver's $10,000 an ounce, that's an issue. But your job as a regulator is not to determine what's too high of a price and what's too low of a price. Your job is to determine what is fair trading. What kind of illegal maneuvers are going on? As Rustin Benham said, we had the tools to tamp down the price of silver. That's what he said, as silver approached $30 last year. This is the guy, he's going to be the only guy at the CFTC. One guy with a $300 million budget. Are you kidding me? That's pure, unadulterated criminality going on at the U.S. government regulator level. And they want to be in charge of cryptocurrencies. This is why we're not going to trust these people, because they're not trustworthy. Anyway, yes, get your silver today. If you have gold, I beg of you. In a freely traded market, gold and silver will be 1-to-1. Silver will probably lap gold. And gold will go up $5,000, $10,000. But silver will go up even more. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per ounce. We don't know how much silver there is in the world. We don't know how much, we know how many derivatives there are. Over 100 billion ounces worth of electronic silver trades on the COMEX every year. 100 billion ounces. In the history of the world, there's only 60 billion ounces that's ever been mined. That's pure fraud. But that's the life we live. That is where the price is determined. And guys like Rustin Benham, Janet Yellen, Jerome Powell have everything under control until they don't. It has always been in the Road to Ruta theory and all the things I've analyzed, silver has always been the bank killer. Watch the 2 Wizard of Oz remakes. Oz the Great and Powerful, and the first one was, I don't even remember the name. Zooey Deschanel was in it. I analyzed that. Go to Road to Ruta and do a search for Wizard of Oz, and you'll find everything I'm talking about. At the end of each of those movies, it was silver, not gold, that destroyed the banking cabal. Go check it out. Anyway. Cryptos are doing really well, staying strong. They can go anywhere. I mean, there's so many tools to tamp down the price of cryptos. There's also so many tools to drive it through the moon. One thing you have to keep in mind, cryptos are our future. And if you don't think that, you're being left behind in the dust. Even the staunchest of anti-crypto people, like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett invests $1 billion in Bitcoin-friendly neobank, dumps Visa and MasterCard stocks. Everybody is finally, after 10 years, starting to understand the invention and the technology and the power of the blockchain. Even the criminal over at JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, remember him saying, I'd fire anybody that buys Bitcoin, and then their price of Bitcoin dumps, and then he has traders in Europe buying it. That guy belongs in jail. Why isn't he in jail yet? Over $40 billion in just fines he's paid to stay out of jail. That's why, in the last 20 years. JP Morgan is now open for business in the metaverse. Nearly 5 years have passed since Jamie Dimon called Bitcoin a fraud and joked that he would fire any JP Morgan employee found to have purchased any digital tokens. And yet here we are. Bloomberg reports that JP Morgan has opened its first office in the metaverse in Decentraland, the browser-based one of several metaverse platforms, which is backed by a digital currency group. That is an evil cabal. Digital currency group, by the way, which also created Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. What they're calling the JP Morgan Lounge was reportedly set up by Onyx, JP Morgan's blockchain unit that stole Reggie Middleton's patent, by the way. That's a good way to take down JP Morgan. JP Morgan Chase & Co. has a lounge in the metaverse. Anyway, please don't listen to the idiots that literally, I mean, after 10 years, I can call them idiots who say cryptos are bullshit, they're going to zero. Don't listen to the idiots. They are idiots. 10 years of studying, you should know how cryptos will change the world now. 10 years. And I always sit there to all my gold bugs friends and silver bug friends. I said, I'll debate you. Let's have a debate on cryptos in the future versus gold and silver. I love all of them. I love silver more than gold because it's massively more rigged. But if you're just into gold and silver for the right reasons, and there are a lot of right reasons, you are insane not to also add cryptos to your portfolio. Because cryptos will be our future. Even gold and silver benefit from cryptocurrencies and blockchains. Because gold and silver turn into real potential currency with the use of blockchain technology. Gold and silver on a smartphone. You have a deposit at a U.S. post office facility maybe or something. I don't want to say bank because I don't think the banks will be around in that world. But a government-sponsored bank, and they hold gold for you, and you want to go buy a cup of coffee, you can do that with the blockchain. I hope people understand that the blockchain turns gold and silver into currency again. And you can transact anywhere in the world. Just keep that in mind. All right. Latest Theta Labs news. I mean, Theta has so much news, it's not going to affect the price. When the tech sector in the normal stock market, all the tech firms understand that Theta is the most important tech company on the planet. And it's got cryptos as part of it, but it is a tech company. It is a software that can be downloaded on your computer to share the internet. It is a platform for the metaverse. There's so much that Theta can do. It is insane. When the tech sector finds out that all of their companies that they're invested in, all the tech investors in Microsoft and Google, all that investment comes looking at the blockchain and they see Theta and they look under the hood and find out what it is, all that money will come into Theta. But now is the time you can get your hands on as much as possible. Theta is the future of the internet. Samsung and Sony are going to download the Edge node on every smart device they have when we start having problems with the internet, which we already are. There have been congressional meetings how to invest $100 billion to make the broadband capacity, high-speed broadband open for everybody. And the obvious solution is software solution. Download it. Download the Theta. Theta Edge node can fix it all. And one day people will figure that out, but it's not today. And you can buy Theta for under $3, I think, right now. Let's see. Let's find out how much Theta is trading for. $388, under $4. It's going to be funny when it's $388. I'm going to be saying, you can buy Theta for under $500. Are you crazy? Get your hands on Theta. Just like I was doing when it was near 4 cents. People just don't understand yet. On the private road at Road to Ruta, we have a page. I'm going to do some updates to that page this week. How to buy, store, and stake Theta. Theta Fuel, also how to buy, store, and stake it. T-Drop's a little harder to get, but it's easy to stake. If you got T-Drop in your wallet from staking Theta, just go to the stake section, click on T-Drop, and you can stake it all. It doesn't have 3 days to take it back. You don't have to paste a blockchain. It does it automatically. One-click staking. All right. So, yeah, T-Fuel at 22 cents. The ratio's at 17.5 to 1. I think it's coming down to 10 to 1, but we'll see. I think the T-Drop ratio right now is at 5 to 1 to Theta Fuel. So, yeah, I'd probably buy T-Fuel right now. Either one. All three of them will do very well in the future. When the tech sector, especially these expert tech advisors, I run a tech fund, I run over $1 trillion through the stock market. All of a sudden they find out that Theta is a tech company and not just a cryptocurrency. Look out above. Watching Zero Hedge is just everything's happening right now. Prince Andrew goes down. The CIA is being exposed. Lindsey Graham says Iran is more of a danger than Russia and China. Nobody's a danger. This is all deep state games. Take care of your own country. The deep state might bring us into a war. It might happen. Who knows? They can do anything right now. That's why they have to be taken down. Remember, they get their power from unbacked fiat money. They get their power from the ability to print as much as they want at any time they want. You take that down with silver, you win. It'll be chaos, yes. A tech executive, Clinton campaign lawyer, responds to Durham's latest firing. Clinton's done, as I've said before. But hey, she should have been done 6 years ago. She should have been, that whole criminal family should have been done a long time ago. So yeah, just check out look, Biden attack on the Ukraine, very much still a possibility. He says from his setup studio. Insane. Anyway, that's what I got for you today on the Road to Ruta. Again, we go on the road shows happening really quick here. You want to join the road show, come out and sing and talk about freedom, come to one of our shows. We start on March 5th in Sonoma, a place called The Real and Brand. I've been there. I love it. They don't even require masks before. And now they're really mask free because California's open again. In Santa Barbara, LA, San Diego, Phoenix, and Albuquerque. I hope to see you out there. You can get your tickets by clicking on the road show. It has the dates and I think every place is now booked. Let's take a look. Let's look at the The last place is Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Salt Yard East in Albuquerque from 2 to 6. That's on a Saturday. $25 for a ticket. You got to get there. You got to get there and come, and we're going to have so much fun. We're going to have friends out on the road. I don't know which places yet. Like Lisa's coming and Jenny's coming. I think Jenny's coming to Phoenix. Phoenix should be a big one. Andy's coming to Andy Scheckman's coming to a few. I think the big one will be Sonoma starting out the first show. All right. I want to see you out there. This is Bix Weir. RoadToRoad.com. I'll talk to you.